I would like to take this opportunity to welcome you, Geeta ma'am, principal of Basilode Nature School, and not only that, a multifaceted person, black belt in karate, has been a scientist for so long. Not only that, she has been selected twice as the best district principal from SOF. Ma'am, thank you for coming here on our platform and welcome you to this. This is a Leader Speak series that we at school are conducting. This is an initiative to connect our parent community or the other parents out there who are looking for answers for the questions that they have either for the school or the school management. So this is to bridge that thing, to give them the insight about how the institution is, leadership is in the institution. So welcome, ma'am.
My pleasure.
Ma'am, to start with, it would be a good thing for the parents to know a little bit about what the institution offers and what the management has set as an agenda, the values that the school incorporates.
So just to begin with, Swapna, I work for an institute which is backed by ISKCON. It is conceived by the team of ISKCON Bangalore. The motto of ISKCON bringing up this education, I would say, drive is just because we wanted the children to be in a joyful learning environment without much pressure in academics. Because here, we talk about holistic development of the students, but how are we doing it is very, very important. Now, we as Indians have very rich culture, very rich tradition. We have, the best values that one can follow. So our institute is focusing on the happiness, the positive attitude of the students as well as the teachers, and most importantly, to inculcate the Indian value system among the students who are going to the future of our nation.
True. Very true, right? The tradition and the culture that our students are rooted in. This is so very true, especially in this changing times when the technology is kind of taking over everything. So to what extent is the school equipped to handle the technology, or do you encourage your students to get into the technological side of the thing?
Of course, we cannot step back from technology, right? So it should be a proper blend, and we believe firmly that there is a proper blend of technology and Indian value system. We encourage our students as well as teachers for that. And we believe that, in the changing times, technology cannot be done away with. And it is not to master us. We are there to master technology.
Very well said, ma'am. Very well said. So how is this? The teachers, do they go through a periodical training to keep up with the versions of it, the modes of it, the way we do our classes? Technology is changing so fast. So do they go through a periodical training to facilitate this?
Yeah, of course. They go through lots of trainings whenever there is some upgradation happening in the education sector with respect to technology. They do take the trainings from different stakeholders, and as we have proposed the school to be the CBSE school, they are up to mark, I would say. They are up to date because it's must. We cannot do away with technology.
True. Very true, ma'am. So how does a child, you have a very holistic approach towards education and also incorporated, a heart of it, it's about the child, and the technology is also definitely there. So how does a typical day for a child go in your campus?
Yeah, looking into the scenario of COVID, I would say that we have not left any stone untouched, because our morning begin with the mindful mornings, we call them, because it's a blend of shlokas and mantras that are chanted as assembly, and then we have yoga session, and then mantra meditation is done, so that the whole day the kids are aligned to a particular routine. And it helps the children to, I would say, diversify their energies. It helps them to settle down and channelize their energies towards the productive work. So that is how we begin with, and then we start up with our academic schedule. And after that, of course, we have some fun activities which are planned on a day-to-day basis, and teachers take care of that.
Really, very heartening to know that they start the day on the right tone. Ma'am, generally kids, each child is an individual, unique. So a learning pace is also according to that. Some kids are very quick learners, some are not. So how is this, managed inside a classroom?
Yeah, so the first and foremost important thing here for an educator, being an educator, or for the teachers is to get connected to the children. So once that connect builds, that rapport builds, it becomes very easy to find out where a teacher needs to lay the emphasis and how it can be, planned. So what we do is, because there, of the COVID constraints, people were not coming out of the homes and there were so many restrictions altogether. We planned for online separate sessions for those children who really need, extra touch in terms of academics, in terms of, molding or anything, I would say. And apart from that, since, now the schools have started calling the children, we have special sessions for these kids who come to the school physically, and teachers take care of them one-on-one, and it's being highly appreciated, I would say. And the kids are learning much more because they have been at home, in their homes for almost I would say 18-19 months. It's a long time.
The importance of human touch, right? The human connection.
Of course.
If nothing, the pandemic definitely showed us that. And the emotional well-being, as you definitely said, is also. So is there a counseling cell within your campus, or how is the emotional need of both the teacher, faculty also, right? They might also feel a little frustrated, or they will have their own challenges along with the student community. So is there anything in place to address that?
Yeah, we have counselors in the school who take care of the emotional well-being of the kids. Once we identify that a particular kid is needing, some support from our end, the counselor on personal basis gives a call and tries to get connected and, find out what's going on and how it has to be settled. And for teachers, let me tell you, just to add on, I am a certified mentor and a guide. So I think I'm sufficient to motivate my teachers. I do that on a regular basis for them.
Definitely, ma'am. I'm quite assured of that. Speaking with you, the warm personality that is coming towards me, ma'am, that we took, we spoke a little bit about their emotional growth and, the academic growth. And there is this physical safety is also an aspect, and the physical growth is also something parents look into it. So about the safety part of it, how is the physical safety or the privacy of the child, protected in your campus, the security?
Of course, see, that is the prime thing that everybody would look into, because it is not only the responsibility of the parents to keep their own kids safe, it is the due responsibility of any of the institutes. So I would say, we have the security guards, the CCTV cameras, which are under vigilance every moment. Apart from that, self-defense is that we teach our kids. And most importantly, the kids are made aware about their own safety through a program called as CACA, which is, children against child abuse, where they are introduced to the POCSO law through different stories and, different patterns of their own growth. So this is an age appropriate, I would say, curriculum that is run from kindergarten till, 12th.
Such a holistic approach, ma'am, if I can say that. Like you have taken into account the whole 360-degree growth of a child. So very, very reassuring. I'm sure our parents or community would also feel that. Ma'am, personally about you, scientist, a black belt karate, champion, and an academic into the management, and an academic personal too. So how does this journey happen, ma'am, from that to here?
To be honest, Swapna, I would say, I'm a gold medalist in geology, MSc geology, and I had to take a break because of, a family and so and so. And after that, I was just, thinking about being a gold medalist sitting at home is not going to help me serve the society to any extent. The desire to serve the society has really, made me stubborn, I would say, to come out of home and work as an educator. Because that desire was so strong that I could not keep myself holding back. I thought, let me just, go ahead with doing something which would really help the society. And I believe that a teacher is a nation maker. That is why I chose this profession. Leaving my scientist profession back, I thought, let me serve society in a different way altogether.
Oh, wonderful to know, ma'am. So this, the value of service, giving back to the community is something that resonates with you. But do you also, is it also a factor in picking Basel Road to be your place of work? They are also, service is also,
Of course. That was I would say, the most important resonance, I would say, important point of resonance, where I thought this is the best place where, what are my desires, I can fulfill, the desire of giving back to the society. So I think this is one of the most important point that resonates with.
You, such a strong personality, ma'am, and so giving. But on a daily basis, what keeps you motivated? What keeps you going forward in this?
The curiosity I look into the eyes of the teachers and the students, I would say that keeps me moving, because every moment there is something new. And when I see something new in the eyes of people, I really feel like I need to work on this. I have to work. I need to do some sort of research. I need to move forward. I need to learn many things. So that keeps me driving, Swapna.
From curiosity, such a nice word, right? We, it's probably everywhere. Somewhere as we grow, maybe it just gets muffled a little bit. But that young age is definitely where it is out and about, and much more visible. How do you, what type of tips or what kind of questions do you think a parent can ask a child to keep that curiosity going? How can a parent help a child be curious?
First of all, I would request parents, being an educator, I would request them that, when your kid is asking you some question, never say no, wait, I will tell you. Or why are you asking this question? It should always be welcomed. If you see, Swapna, the kids in kindergarten, they are so curious about everything. If you take them to the ground, they will surely ask you, ma'am, why are we going to the ground?
True.
Why are we going to the park? They'll ask so many questions to you. And then it begins with, I'm taking you, it's your period for playing, so we are going out. But if the same question is asked at home, the parents will have a number of answers to them, not the exact answer that the kid is seeking for. So when our kids are asking questions to us, it is our foremost important responsibility to have a knowledge about that particular question and then answer it to the child. Maybe many of us are not having instant answers and we stop them from questioning, which will definitely kill that curiosity among the kids. So we should always praise that curiosity. If some child is asking about what is space, I cannot give an answer saying that you are too young to know space. We can always tell them what is space. That will keep that curiosity alive.
Not to curb the questioning, but to encourage more questioning is
absolutely, absolutely. And we should, being a parent, we should know where to encourage questioning and where not to. That is very important.
The wisdom.
Yeah, the wisdom. Very, very important.
Very true. What would, how can a parent be, more proactive in this during the school year while their child is, enrolled in the school?
I would say the parent must be aware of the things that are happening with the child. That is one thing. So I'm not talking about the parents helicoptering over the kids, but parents must be aware of the general facts, the general trends that are going on, and how they can, mold and motivate their children towards a particular stream. Because now when we talk about stream, it does not mean science, maths, or I would say the physics, chemistry, or your commerce or arts. I would say what is happening around them, what are the situations in the real life. If parents make the children aware about what is real life all about, what are the pains that the people go through. We are privileged to have this, certain standard of living, but there are a number of children who are not getting even a bread for a time during a day. The sensitizing the kids about the society, sensitizing about the real life situation is what is going to, help children build stronger, much more responsible and understanding. They will have that gesture of gratitude towards whatever they are having, and also in near future they will be willing to give to the society than they receive from the society.
Very well said, ma'am. Yes, each and even me as a parent, maybe for each and every parent, it's important to do our part also,
Yes.
to bring up a responsible citizen for the future. Ma'am, what kind of activities or events do you hold in your school year to promote, this kind of a holistic learning, where the children can showcase their creativity, their thought process?
Yeah. So to begin with, I would talk about the event first. After a long time, when the parents requested that we want to visit the campus, then we thought of how can we bring them to the campus? How could we, segregate them into small teams? Then we thought of something called as meet and greet for the students. And auspicious occasion was looked on as 2nd October. They were called to the campus in batches. They met their friends whom they were seeing virtually throughout the year. And then they met the teachers. Then there were, games arranged for them. Apart from that, we had a plantation drive, which in which the enthusiasm of the kids was extremely high. Everybody bought a plant, planted in the campus, because our campus is too huge, 2.5 acres of lush green campus we have. So they planted, we made the places where they can plant, and they planted the trees. It was real enthusiasm to be, I would say, to check on that, where the energies were. And it was really, really wonderful time. Apart from that, when we talk about other activities, we engage children in the cookery classes. We engage them in the Vedic maths classes. We engage them with the fitness classes. And most importantly, we engage them with the life sublime classes, which make them spiritually aware and strong.
Tons of things going on, and everything sounds fantastic. And probably these are the things that are setting you, much, differentiating you from the regular run of the mill schools, I would say. Fantastic initiatives, madam. Like taking care of it, taking the child, putting it in the middle of the nature, and nurturing it there. I personally feel it very humbling at the same time very profound for a parent, to keep my child in that environment.
Thank you.
Ma'am, any criteria for admissions into the school? Is there anything that Basilwood was looking at that parents should know?
I would say Basilwoods is the apt place. We are following the National Education Policy 2020. And we are equipping the children with all 4 Qs, because our approach is unique. We are equipping them with physical quotient, we are equipping them with the intellectual potential, then emotional, as well as the spiritual. So here is the combination of all. And this does not come, as a co-curricular activities or something like that. This is the core potential, I would say, which is nurtured among the children through the academics. So the 4Q approach is the unique approach that Basilwoods is, taking up and is inculcating among the children, making them aware about, how things work when we are in the real life scenarios. So I would say the 4Q approach, the life sublime classes, the mantra chantings and all are unique for us.
Definitely, ma'am. Couldn't agree more. Definitely, ma'am. You've been very generous with your time and sharing your insights. One last question: your feedback on our platform schools. This is where we connect schools and parents. So, what do you think about it? Have you explored it?
Yeah, I have explored it. I feel that this is one of the most important platforms where people can look out for different I would say initiatives that are being taken by different schools, and it's a wonderful platform that brings in the parents and the school fraternities together, where we can think of many changes that can be made in the education sector, implement many, I would say, activities, implement many initiatives, which will be keeping the children at the center, and could develop and nurture the best of the best kids.
Thank you so much, ma'am. We are constantly looking for constructive feedbacks, and this has been very encouraging for us. Thank you for that.
Thank you,
ma'am. I seriously thank you for your time, for giving this to be a part of our Leader Speaks series, and definitely this has been a very enlightening thing, and I'm sure the parents can make a very informed choice now, knowing all about the institution and the leadership. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Swapna. Take care.